In Privacy Watch, security concerns over a popular new app are causing some users to think twice before downloading it. Clubhouse. Have you heard of it? It is an invite-only social networking app that lets you get together with followers or strangers in audio chat rooms. The app now has at least 10 million users and is valued at $1 billion, but privacy issues are now starting to creep up. So Dan Patterson has been following the very latest on this story, and he is here with us to break it on down. So Dan, there's going to be a ton of people who know about Clubhouse and a bunch of people who've never heard of it before. It is an invite-only social media platform, so chances are if you don't know anybody on there, you probably didn't get an invite. Vlad and I go back and forth about it because he says it feels like just being on one long conference call, and he hates conference calls. I actually see why people are attracted to it. What is the appeal of Clubhouse?
If talk radio blended with social media, it would be Clubhouse. And in fact, Clubhouse might be the talk radio of the new era. At its heart, it's pretty simple to understand. This is an app that allows users to create groups that are thematic or topical. I was just in a Clubhouse about South by Southwest. Other people host Clubhouses about technology, politics, and that's kind of on the benign end of the spectrum. The app is still in invite-only beta, but that's more of a marketing term than anything else. It's one way to create this false sense of scarcity and drum up hype, which is kind of where Clubhouse is right now. We've seen this in the past. Snapchat, Instagram, other major TikTok, other major social media apps kind of hit this what VCs call the up and to the right curve, right? And that's exactly where Clubhouse is now. They're experiencing explosive growth and a very high valuation based on the activity of the users and those who are participating in talk radio of the future.
So the thing about Clubhouse is, people can see your face. It's connected to all your other social media platforms. They hear your voice. It's hard to be completely anonymous. You mentioned that it's in the beta phase, but there's 10 million users. So, that says something. Talk to me about the privacy concerns and the security concerns, because to me, as if it seems like a different setup than like a Facebook where a lot of your personal information is on there. This is just conversation.
Well, these are conversations attached to your real name, or at least your username. And so many people do use their real name because of social currency. It brings along, they can bring followers from other networks. This is, it is audio only, and so it creates this sense of community. The being able to listen to somebody is different than watching them, right? We engage and we interact with audio in totally different ways. And so along with that comes a sense of intimacy. Now, that sense of intimacy is also built into the ways that the app function, and the app itself gives you this sense of privacy or discretion, as though you were talking to, forgive the pun, a club or a small group of people. However, hackers, or I don't even want to call them hackers, people who have been pretty creative with how to use the app, figured out pretty easily how to remotely share their logins and then stream and record conversations. This is happening at pretty large scale, which means that those conversations, just like everything on social media that users thought would be private, have been exploited and shared with the entire world.
Yeah, you're so right about the feeling of intimacy because you're just listening to a handful of voices. But then as you sort of flip through who else is in the room, you realize that there are many, many, many people in the room listening, and they may not all be there out of a sincere interest in the topic. After more mainstream social media platforms started taking action against extremist content, users flocked to more niche channels like Gab and Parler. Is there a concern that Clubhouse could also fall victim to this, that it could become a place where extremists now gather to converse?
Yeah, it's not just a concern, it's a reality that's happening right now. Taylor Lorenz at the New York Times has been documenting this since at least last summer. Look, one example is that on Yom Kippur, Clubhouse users opened an anti Semitic room and used that to troll Jewish users. There is a long history of users who have been, like you said, deplatformed from other places. Jordan Sather, who is a QAnon influencer, has migrated over to Clubhouse, as have a lot of people in the air quotes men's rights movement who have also been attached to sexual harassment and other toxic behavior. So this isn't just a concern, Anne Marie. This is actively happening right now. I did reach out to Clubhouse yesterday morning. It took them almost 12 hours to respond, and they only responded with a statement this morning. So we're going to keep following this and try to understand why Clubhouse lacks some basic content moderation tools and what they're doing about this, because they might be doing something, but right now it's almost impossible to see what they're doing, and it doesn't seem to be effective. So we'll keep talking to Clubhouse. We'll also keep talking to the victims of harassment, and we'll kind of look at how, look, this is a really cool app, and there are some neat purposes for it. So we'll keep looking at those too.
Yeah, that's really good. I mean, this is a relatively new app. They should have sort of built it from the ground up in anticipation of these problems happening. So, yeah, keep on it, Dan, and thanks for the explainer.
Great to be here.